welcome to another edition of Small Talk with Fabitos. Um, you know who it is? It's Fabit. And you know what? I want to say we got Trump as the president now, and you know what? We at least got 4 years of entertainment to talk about. So we'll talk about that later on in life. But right now, let's talk about the TikTok ban. Was it a ploy from Trump, and what did it all mean? To me, this was a nothing burger. Uh, it, it came back up in 12 hours. What it should have taught most of you content creators was to diversify your content, move it around to different platforms. Now, I would advise that you guys start doing that now. This is only a temporary hold on this ban, so you're talking about 45, 75 days. They may push the field goal back a little bit more, but at the end of the day, what happens when the hold is over and ByteDance doesn't want to sell 50% of their shares? So that's an interesting question. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Let me talk about congestion prices. Now, congestion prices is, to me, it's one of those money grabs, but it's beyond a money grab. Like look where the money is going to. It's going to fund the MTA. Now, the MTA, they're a different situation. They're a different issue. They're more in the lines of the worst service I ever know and gets rewarded with extra funding. Like, keep in mind, they're a private entity that gets public funding by billions, and trains are constantly delayed. Safety is at an all-time low. Service has just been horrible just to begin with. Like you go in there, it's more of a hotel for homeless. Um, Like I get it. Now it's cold. I wouldn't want to be in that situation, but if you were, I mean, I would hunker down into a subway station or something similar to that. But that's neither here or there. MTA constantly misdirects their money into other things that doesn't really help the cause or help stop delays. Like I constantly see track replacements. We're doing track replacements. Do track replacements. You spend 2 months on that. It works for like 3 weeks, and then next thing you know, it's back to the same thing. Same tracks are getting replaced. Is it a different phase? But this is going on. I could tell you one line, the F line, that's been going through constructions for the past 10 years. Same route, same tracks. Like what are we doing here? And at the end of the day, like for us as taxpayers, you got to think in the lines of why we taxpayers are paying into this private entity that can't get their act together. Like their own board members don't even ride the system. They take their cars. They don't ride the system. So there's no relatability to that. But, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. And I always say, keep an eye on what New York systems do because I guarantee you, everything trickles down to your state and your city. Everything that we do ends up coming to you. So let comment comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole congestion pricing and then the MTA all together in totality. Now, going into my little geekdom moment, I just want to go into where we get to talk about Creature Commandos. They just finished the season, had 8 wonderful episodes, very funny. I have to say the fact that they did an origin story, but the origin story was per episode for each character, and then how it all intertwined it. I thought it was amazing. I thought the psychic um, wrench that they threw into the storyline, where it kind of, hey, she's trying to start World War III, the princess. I thought that was hilarious. But I'm not trying to throw any more spoilers, but I do recommend it. It's on HBO Max. I just want to quickly say it's a well recommended and a great start to the DCU series. And hey, man, keep it up, man. Give Marvel a run for his money. Because at the end of the day, if DC does good, Marvel has to step their game up. And Marvel has to step their game up. Guess who has to step their game up? So, Kraven the Hunter came out, and once it came out, Sony decided after lackluster success that they're not going to do any more movies not involving Spider-Man, with the being the holding of the rights that they own of those characters. Now, For those, I understand the general audience not pretty familiar on how this works. They just think it's all Marvel. Now, years down the road, way back in the 90s, Marvel was going bankrupt and they sold some of their characters off. Spider-Man and all the characters associated with Spider-Man was sold off to Sony. Now, the deal includes that Sony has to make a Spider-Man movie every 7 years or be in production of a movie. I think it's every 3 or 7 years. If not, they lose rights and it goes back to Marvel. Sony, to that rule, has been piping out Spider-Man movie after Spider-Man movie after Spider-Man movie, where you now have three different Spider-Mans that have played Spider-Man in a 20-year span, and I think less than a 20-year span. I could be corrected, but yeah, Tobey Maguire, yeah, Andrew Garfield, and now you got Tom Holland. Like these guys all played the role great, I thought, and had a little quirkiness. Like Tobey Maguire was great on as a Peter Parker. I thought Andrew Garfield was great as the Spider-Man himself, and Tom Holland kind of puts it all together with that quirkiness and reminds you of the Steve Ditko type of era. But however, that being said, Marvel made a deal with Sony so that they can use Spider-Man in their Marvel movies, and then also direct any movies that Spider-Man comes up, solo Spider-Man movies, Marvel has direct creative control over it. Now, with that being said, Sony is like, well, we need to make money as a studio. So we're gonna come up with the Craven. We're gonna come up with the Sinister Six, which never came out. We're gonna come up with so and so. We could go down the line. We keep going on and on. Failure after failure after failure. With the only exception would be Venom. And honestly, Venom 1 was great. Venom 2, yeah. Venom 3, I fell asleep on it. I can't help it. I mean, I fell asleep on it. But and I will go back sometime in the future and probably watch it and see, give it its fair due. But honestly, it put me to sleep. Um, Sony, just what it is that they're chasing money and they're not sticking to stories and what made Spider-Man great and those characters great. It was about one, you're not adding Spider-Man, which I get because Marvel is now allowing you as part of that deal. Now, if you can't add those characters, then why not just leave them alone? Like what you're doing right now is you're like Craven. You kind of made Craven a hero. Craven in no comic book, no publication, no iteration of any has seen Craven a hero at no point in time. And what I've seen and noticed is that there is a romanticization of making the villain the hero. Like they, there you have to plead with the villain sometimes. Like it's not all black and white. Well, some was it was the good guys versus the bad guys. Like when did this line that was very concrete just disappear or get blurred? Like, when did that happen? Like, why? Like, but let me know what you guys think, because like with this whole Sony thing and everything that's going on, like, yay, they made a pause, but now they want to. You know what that means? They're gonna pump out more Spider-Man movies, which means it's gonna be diluting the product. And now Marvel eventually is gonna run out of their rights with this deal, so they're probably not gonna renew this deal. So we're probably gonna lose Spider-Man in the MCU and it's going to be in the hands of Sony now. And again, it's going to be diluted, try to get the box office, not understanding what the fans want or what they want in their Spider-Man. Marvel gets it. That's why we were hyped about Spider-Man coming into the MCU. That's why those movies are doing billions of dollars. Those Spider-Man solo movies. Like Sony, the guys, you guys need to wake up. You need to wake up. A lot of people have been asking me about what if. What do I think about it? To me personally, I think it was okay. I thought it was eh. First season was amazing. Second season was kind of fell off the tracks. That whole Doctor Strange thing becoming the but yeah, season three, some episodes were pretty cool, but some was just like were pretty dragging, and you just like felt like obligated to watch it. But either way, I thought for totality it was okay. It wasn't. getting doesn't deserve the fanfare that it's getting right now. Like it's not like a lot of the bashing that I'm hearing about it. Is it because of the hate because of Peggy Carter's a female as Captain America? Like again, like we said last week with the whole woke shit, get over your shit. As long as it doesn't affect the story, and I thought this didn't affect the story at all. In fact, it enhanced the perspective of what if Peggy Carter was the one that took the serum? Like you got to start thinking outside the box every once in a while, people. But this kind of leads me into a bigger thing with the Marvel universe, and this has been kind of crawling at me. Like I thought a lot of their projects were pretty good. The Scrolls and Fury series that was a mess. I'm not gonna lie, that was a mess. It was CGI catastrophe, and you guys did something to the overall storyline that kind of had us all like, what? Um, but I think they're moving on to better things. I think they got a plan. And I think the whole Jonathan Majors thing was unfair. Um, he should have never been fired. Personally, I thought that was a panic move by Disney, and I thought that Disney just couldn't see on that be seen in the light of due to those allegations. But I thought those allegations was a money grab from the plaintiff. But that's my opinion. I have no proof. I got nothing to say. I just again, it's my opinion. But they had something with Kang. Now the writers kind of got cute with certain things here and there and started doing things like mixing things up and making Ant-Man um Ant-Man and yeah, that the way they used Kang in that movie was a little bit disappointing. I thought it could have been amazing if he would have won, and then you would have built it off, and then that Council of Kangs um, would have like just alerted the whole MCU, hey, Kang is really here. This guy is nobody to fuck. But you guys missed out on that. It is what it is. You guys want to pivot. You're moving into kind of old threads with Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and I'm hearing Scarlett Johansson might come back. And you want to go with the old guard, which business wise, I get it because you got to get that buck. You got to get that money and you got to bring in the box office and you stick with what works. That's the one trait with Hollywood. They always stick with what works, even though they sometimes drive it to the ground. Now, Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. I think it's doable. It's possible. I really want to see what the Russo brothers is going to do as far as story wise with that and telling the story. And but when I first heard it, I wasn't a fan. I was like, yeah, fuck out of here. We're gonna redo this, and then oh, you're just gonna make them Doom. Like how much they paid him? How many 50 million, 40, 60, like just to get him to come back? Like really? But whatever. The whole aspects of bringing these guys back. Deadpool and Wolverine killed, and now I'm hearing rumors that Hugh Jackman is getting a 10-year deal with Marvel to do other projects. So hey, I guess Deadpool was right. You're gonna be doing this forever and ever and ever. Hugh Jackman, he told you, he warned you. But here and there, but like the whole Marvel I think they're moving in the right direction, but it still remains to be seen because the whole bringing back retreads of characters, just giving them different roles, like it's a little suspect. I get it, you can do it in the multiverse, and then the storyline that they're trying to do where they get into Battle World, it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. There's so many actors in this world. There's so many ranges that you can get to bring in to do Doom. You just again, it all goes back to writing and directing. You got to tell the story. You got to tell the story the right way. You tell the story, anybody can play that role. You just tell them the story. Got to have that focus. Got to have that drive, and get the story to where it's supposed to be. But what do I know? Let me know what you guys think. Those are my opinions on the Marvel universe. I think honestly, I hope not because I I think DC will pass Marvel in terms of box office within next 2 years. Um, Marvel's losing it because they're sticking to that formula and they're handcuffing their writers to that formula, and I think that hurts. But we got to see. We got to see what Captain America, Brave New World. They're talking about it's an espionage. Maybe they'll change the game like Winter Soldier did. Who knows? I'm hoping for it because again, I like Marvel, especially Marvel crossovers, and Marvel live action has really hit the hit the ground running and really didn't stop until now. They're just like slowing down and it's like they put their foot on off the pedal. Excuse me. But let me know. Comment down below. Again, you know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, show some love. Star Wars Skeleton Crew came out, just finished out with their finale. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it, for what it was, I thought it had a good story. It had a Goonie style. As an 80s kid, I appreciated that. And honestly, it reminded myself and everybody in the Star Wars community that Star Wars is for the children and always will be for the children. You can't forget that. Just because it's for the children, us adults can't watch it. That I'm not saying that. I fully enjoy Star Wars. I fully enjoy Marvel. I fully enjoy DC. I take no sides. I just in it for because this is what I grew up on, and this is what helped my childhood become amazing. So that being said, the Star Wars. I think you guys are going on a great path, but and all you guys that are sitting down, got nothing to do, just there with your Slurpees, watching Star Wars just to bash it and go on these chats and bashing Star Wars. You know what? Get over yourselves. Really, just get over yourselves because like it's not for you. Ahsoka. I wasn't a fan of Ahsoka. I thought the show was yeah, it was at best. But it wasn't for me. I wasn't a fan of the whole Clone Wars. Most of the Clone Wars. There was some aspects of Star Wars I just couldn't get into, or it was just too late in the game for me to really delve into. With that being said, like Ahsoka wasn't like was a character. I thought she was dope on cartoons. Like animated, anybody can be dope. You can do mad choreography with your fight scenes and be crazy imaginative. Live action, it's just based on how good you want to pay your CGI person, and visual effects guy. And honestly, I didn't think that a good Ahsoka fight scene would translate to a series, especially a series that's going on Disney Plus. If it was a movie, it would have been a different story because you got dealing with different budgets. But you're dealing with a series on Disney Plus, different, totally story. I knew it was going to be scaled back a bit, and it was okay though. It was okay. It was watchable. I mean, if it's a rainy day out there, got a drink in my hand, I'll watch it here and there. See, maybe Ray Stevenson's character just alone will get me to rewatch that series because what he did in that series was great. And how towards the end, and that maybe because of his passing, things had to be maneuvered around. I just felt like his character was thinned out a little bit awkwardly. Um, but that's neither here or there to say. That's one show out of many shows that's for us fans. Like if you don't like this particular show, then you don't have to watch it. If you weren't getting into it within the first 2 or 3 seasons, that's fine. It's cool. Whatever. Look, you can't find no bigger Dragon Ball fan than me. I love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball Z. I love watch the Kai. I still watch Super. I still watch the movies, even the old movies, the old 3 or 4 brawlies that we had back in the day that you had to go to, like for me, go to Chinatown and get the video cassette for. Like those I'm that much of a fan. But the new Dragon Ball series, Daima, I'm honestly I seen one episode and it's one of those series that I'm like, you know what? It reminds me too much of GT, which I wasn't a fan, and I'm just gonna, I'll binge it one day. I'll pick a day that I'm gonna binge it. To me, that's what you do. I mean, do I hate Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball, listen, this is the best anime ever. It's pretty much no Dragon Ball, you get no Bleach. No Dragon Ball, you get no My Hero Academia. You get none of these great animes that we got without Dragon Ball. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, stay up. So thanks for watching. We appreciate all the support. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, share it. We got a lot of great content coming out. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to share it all with you. It's just going to be all trickling through. A lot of great collaborations, a lot of great stars, a lot of great insight that's going to come your way. So this is me, Fabito, signing out for Up and Level, where we keep raising the bar and leveling up. Peace.